is the score for the little mini break.
And that's where the game was halted, in that area of the ground, hence the umpires will ball it up, not in the centre circles.
And we will play the final 3 and a bit minutes of this opening half, and then a 1 minute break. So back underway, which team can regain its composure and focus and switch on and maybe score a vital goal in this final 3 minutes before the official half-time break. It's like a game of rugby union in there at the moment. A real scrimmage, fires out. Phillips can't quite pick it up. Dumped in the tackle there for the Demons was Clifford. Comes out the way of Zilke.
Really great at ground level there, Zilke.
And to Pearce, kick was smothered by Zilke, the two captains going toe-to-toe. And this has been picked off. The Lions in Kasler takes off. Bouncing ball off Frederick Traub, the marquee. She spins, she shoots, she scores. She loves a goal and she's absolutely pumped up the marquee. The 20-year-old from Western Australia has moved to Queensland to play for the Lions. And look at the celebration, Sabrina Frederick Traub.
I think she's more comfortable around that inside 30 zone. We saw that she doubled back, she was leading towards goal, and then she just got clear and grabbed the footy and snapped it over her shoulder. There's a few times where she's been caught outside 50, and I think it really suits her being close to goal.
That's the second time Daisy's kicked into the opposition's hands. She won't be happy with that. I think that's 2 from 2 and 2 goals.
Yeah, you're right, Kate, absolutely spot on. That kick from Daisy should have been long and wide, especially in kicking against the breeze. Go for some yardage. Yeah, she tried to be a little bit too cute on that occasion.
I think a lot of the players are under pressure at this stage.
So a real arm wrestle unfolding here. It is low scoring, but a lot of lead changes. Here goes Pearce again. Can she be more clean with this possession? Kicks it wide and the foot race is on. Look out, here comes Cranston. They call her Rocky. She's already cleaned up one player early in this opening half. Good smother applied by Cordner. Still learning the ways of AFL, the former soccer player, a high up and under, and that is out of bounds on the full. Cordner, well, what a history. Football runs through her I nearly said brains, through her veins.
It probably does now.
Her grandfather won the Brownlow, Don Cordner. She's the 8th Cordner to play for the D's, and a famous face in the crowd today, Ron Barassi, here to support the women, which is just great to see.
I was a bit high on Daisy there. Could have been a free kick over the shoulder.
Been a tough afternoon for the skipper.
She's had plenty of the ball, though. She's leading from the front. She had 13 disposals.
And you always see Daisy, she's always in and under, she's blocking, she's doing all the small things. It's not just about those disposals. We've seen that she's elite by foot, but she's always at the bottom of the pack as well. She's
the leading tackler on the ground with 5 as well. So, and that's what you want from your leaders, playing two-way football, not only winning the ball, but the defensive efforts as well.
She is an absolute superstar. She's inside, she's outside, she can do it all.
What I like about Daisy is she tried to work on her deficiencies over summer. She went and spent her lunch times working at the footy club with head coach Mick Stanier, working on contested possessions.
Did you say earlier, Kate, she's not working at the club anymore?
No, I heard recently that she's resigned from her position in the player development space and gone back to midwifery at the Box Hill Hospital.
It's not such a bad thing. Get a balance. Sometimes it can be just all consuming at a footy club, and I get it. I get that, especially when you're playing. You need to be able to switch off at times. So I think that's a healthy thing for Daisy to do.
It'd be really difficult to be at the club from 8:30 to like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. You'd be worn out. And her biggest asset to the Melbourne Footy Club is out there on the ground, not in an office.
Correct, mate.
Harris went at it with both arms. Looked a little ginger as she tried to launch herself at that ball. Two tall forwards, I was going to say a few moments ago, have had little impact on this contest because it's such a tough day for the tall forwards. But Frederick Traub with a great snap, putting the Lions in front just a few moments ago.
It's great to see most of the crowd have stayed too.
Yeah, good point, Danny. It's fantastic, isn't it? They need a crowd of just over 6,000, and we will get the official crowd in the second half. We'll let you know as soon as we get it, but they need a crowd of 6,150 today. And that would mean they would crack the 50,000 mark for the weekend.
Yeah, which is outstanding. So we get a minute to change ends. So that'll be a quick change of mindset too. And I'm sure the coaching staff would have said this is what we need to do against the wind for 3 minutes or for it, depending on which team you are, and quickly switch styles.
Yeah, your game plan it differs with, you know, going with the wind and going against it. So it'll be interesting to see what the teams do and how they shape up and where the movement comes in. I feel like the last couple of games have been like a chessboard. You know, the coaches are putting players in different positions and just trying to get that edge. So as they line up here, we can see Brisbane had 1 or 2 behind the football before, just trying to make sure that Melbourne didn't get any scoreboard pressure in that little 2-minute block. But at the moment, we've got 2 Melbourne wings and a free Brisbane player in the forward 50, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Melbourne player on own here, Kat Phillips, and her direct opponent is behind the ball, right of screen.
So this is the official half-time score, and it's Brisbane leading by 2 points after the D's led it by 3 at quarter time. This is the start of the second half after we had that little quick break. If you're just joining us live and exclusive on Fox Footy, we had a break late in that second quarter for a thunderstorm. Players, because of safety reasons, were asked to leave the ground. We've just played that final 3 minutes. And here we go into the second half. Cranston putting her body on the line. Big tackle coming in there from Hunt.
Katie, we see Daisy's been put back into the back line. Would that be just to give her a rest so that she gets a bit of energy back, or to stop someone in the fall?
No, I definitely think just to keep, you know, your captain and your best player on the ground, if you can rest her down back.
Oh, great kick, and able to run on here is Wushner. How does it bounce? Through for a behind.
Very exciting stuff there by the Brisbane Lions. But yeah, you know, you could do that rotation off the bench, but often players spend more energy sprinting to the bench and then sprinting back on the field, and you'd rather have her leadership out there, whether, you know, she is at 80% and she's trying to get her breath back. It's better to see her in the back line and still making an impact than being on the bench.
She's directing traffic here, telling her teammates where to be and set up in the zone. And
being under Daisy for the last 4 years.
Oh, she didn't quite get the ball
that
there.
wasn't great by Duray. They call her Irish. She's grew up in Ireland. Laura Duray.
That's a let-off. She did well in the end.
Very well.
Let it turn into 2 mistakes, but she tried for yardage out this side, which is good attacking play because this is the attacking side of the ground, but obviously the slippery ball went to ground.
Laura Duray wearing the number 11, Jim Stein's former number. A lovely touch by the Melbourne Football Club. Grew up in Ireland, came out here for a holiday, met her husband, and she's been here for 9 years and fell in love with AFL.
She had a pretty impressive rock on her wedding ring finger too, I must say, in the team photo.
Talia Randall taking O'Day high, but she loves the physicality, Elise O'Day.
Yeah, I think she relishes that opportunity, Elise, doesn't she? She absorbs any punishment that comes her way, and she's pretty handy to give a little bit back herself.
Elise was a lifelong Melbourne supporter, and I believe she loved David Schwartz, and she's wearing his number.
And if you ever get the chance to listen to Elise, you know, do an interview or talk, she has so much passion for the game. You know, very fortunate to be a team member with the mighty Durban Falcons, and she's just a great character.
I know we probably asked this question over the weekend, but how many Durban Falcons players are playing over the weekend?
I wish you would have asked me this off air so I could have counted them, but I think we've got about 7 or 8 out there.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Is that across the 8 teams or just out here now?
Oh, no, sorry, across the 8 teams, that would be.
It's a great performance from one team.
Well, it just goes to show why they continue to win premierships, really.
And Kate, you're obviously a very good tennis player. You a better tennis player or footballer?
I'm a much better footballer naturally,
yeah.
Which is a shame because I feel like if I was in Katie Brennan's shoes, you know, the world would have been my oyster.
Yeah. And why then haven't you played in the domestic competition?
I did. I went to Melbourne Uni in 2006 and I played a game, lasted 10 minutes at the Peanut Farm, and I broke my arm.
Oh, wow.
So at that point, there was no pathway for us.
So Clifford, the defender, flying high in the pack was Cranston. A bouncing ball again at a half forward. Ashmore, handball into thin air, out of bounds. Heard the voice from Bates, couldn't hit the target. There's Emily Bates, picked 2 in the draft last year.
Emily Bates hasn't found a lot of it today, but an absolute superstar, and she'll be one to watch in the future. Came through, again through Auskick and through the youth girls in the Queensland program, and she's developing really nicely under Craig Startovich.
Katie, tell us a little bit about Melissa Hickey. You know her well. What should we be looking for over the next 7 weeks?
I think she's an incredible lockdown defender and definitely the hardest player that I've ever played on. She's very agile, she's very quick off the mark, and she's just so physical as well. She's developed her game over the pre-season, and she's spending a little bit more time in the midfield, as we can see. But yeah, she's definitely one to watch.
Cody, we just saw Daisy Pearce as leading disposals, the ranking points. She's obviously an elite runner as well. Can you enlighten us on her running capacity?
Yeah, Daisy is an elite runner, and I think the main thing is it's her will, and she might not be. Obviously, we heard that Karen Paxman leads the 2K time trial, but the ability for Daisy to get to the contest and will herself to get to the contest. She does it week in, week out at VFL level, and we can see her doing it here out on the ground. She's always around the footy, and that's where she does her best work.
Do you think Daisy gets to the contest because of her running capacity and gut run, or because she reads the play so well she knows where to go?
It'd be a bit of both, Kate. You know, she's the best reader of this game in this competition. She's an absolute star, and obviously, you know, we see her pushing over to that contest now and just getting into dangerous positions where she can impact. She's put herself in front of the football now instead of behind it, which is awesome. She has license just to run and to do her bit.
And there's her impact right there. That's terrific.
And I think that's the mark of a very smart player, because she knows they're a little bit behind on the scoreboard, so to go forward and engage that extra is smart.
And a very smart coaching move as well, just to give Daisy the licence to do what she needs to do out there. And in essence, she is an on-field coach.
Well, I believe her and a couple of the other Melbourne leadership group took a training session on Saturday with the girls. So the coaches weren't involved. It was just Daisy and Elise O'Day and Melissa Hickey.
So maybe a coach of the future in the AFLW. So this is really messy, untidy stuff at the moment, but I just feel like the intensity's lifted a little bit. Rain's tumbling down again. It's almost like trying to hug a bowl of jelly out there at the moment. It's challenging conditions, challenging physically. Players on the bench sucking in the oxygen, but still so much up for grabs when you consider just a 7-week season.
And Kate, we talked about this before, but how did you find the practice match that we had against each other? I know for me the 16 aside is it's a big adjustment, and you're gassed by that, you know, that first 5-minute mark, and you just have to, like we were talking about before, will yourself to the contest. Did you find the same thing?
At the end of the first quarter, I don't think my heart's ever beat that quick. I was so out of gas. I just felt like I was a rabbit running around deer in the headlights a little bit too. And I think that we're playing on bigger grounds as well, and that's something we have to take into consideration, particularly like Icon Park on Friday night. That's a massive ground for the girls.
So Hickey comes in, collects Wallace high, umpire doesn't see it. There's Giray, the Irish player.
Katie, how do you go playing against people that were teammates?
It's a tough one. You know, obviously you love your teammates dearly, and especially at the Darebin Falcons. They're you know, my football family. I had a bit of a moment on Friday night, actually, watching Darcy perform and watching Lozarnell, you know, captain her side to victory. You know, the people that are very dear to me, and obviously Daisy, Melissa and Junior out there, and Paxi. So, you know, you get emotional watching them, and it's also, you know, you love and you're very proud of them and what they're doing out there. But I think once you come into battle with them, it's yeah, it all kind of disappears. Obviously love my Western Bulldogs teammates very dearly also.
Has any of them ever hit you, or not literally hit you, but like tried to take you down in a shirt front or a bump?
No, I don't think so. I think we, you know, we play a really great brand of football at the Falcons, and you know, we try and play fair. Things come up from time to time, but I haven't experienced anything like that.
If they did, Katie, would it come back with interest later on?
Oh, absolutely.
Guessing yes. So the rain Getting even heavier. Danny Frawley, you would have loved playing in these sort of conditions.
This is the 80s at Moorabbin. Probably not as much mud, though, unfortunately. Well, fortunately today, but yeah.
How would you, in your playing days, how would you adjust the mindset as Newman takes off, brought down in a tackle? Chance here for the Demons to send it back inside 50. It's an awkward ball. How does it sit? It sits beautifully for Boyd.
I think
the kick wasn't great.
The answer to your question, Kelly, is just yardage in these conditions. Get some territory. And look, it's not pretty football, but it's become pretty effective for both teams. There's no finesse out there now. And the ball is very slippery. It's wet, so you want to minimise the little mistakes.
And it must be so frustrating because you're going, you're willing yourself. It's probably easy for the shoulders to slump a bit. How important to keep the energy levels up?
Definitely really important. I think in these conditions as well, you feel like you've got bricks on your feet. It's seriously, your boots are soaking, your socks are wet, and you really have to concentrate on keeping your feet. When you do get possession of the footy as well, it's slippery. There's so many different aspects to playing in the wet than there is playing in the dry, and as we can see, it starts to turn into a little bit of a scrappy game.
Well, Katie Brennan, you've usually got springs in your shoes, so from that to bricks.
Well, the side that wins it's going to be based on effort now. Conditions and
crunching tackle.
It's just going to take the ultimate effort from both teams.
And you want to make sure you and your girls are communicating really well. Big talk out there.
You can really get into the habit of just dumping that ball straight away when you get it. So, you might feel more pressure than's probably on you. So you'll find that the cream of the crop really rise to the top and that they can hit those targets. Like we saw Daisy Pearce just on her left foot a little bit before as that ball entered the forward 50 and gave Traub an opportunity at goal. So
it's like a cake of soap out there at the moment. No one can pick it up. And no one is leaving Casey Fields. They are glued to this contest, and it's tight, tough, enthralling. You just get the feeling it could go down to the wire. We've seen margins of 35 points, 36, 32 points for the first 3 games. This one is just a little closer. Narrowly Meadows on the boundary.
Yes, I'm with Elise O'Day, who is keeping a really close eye on this one. It's tough stuff out there.
Yeah, it's really trying conditions. I don't think either side expected that, and I don't think either side has trained in this all summer. So it's come down to just one simple thing, and that's effort. Who wants it more?
Fair to say that you went in as favourites. You didn't expect to be in this position?
Nah, I think both teams were probably an even chance because we'd never played each other before, so we didn't know what to expect. But yeah, it's definitely a tough contest, that's for sure.
How great is this atmosphere, though?
I know, it's good. The crowd stuck around, which is really fantastic. Like they couldn't have done any better. We're really impressed. Yeah.
Thanks for spending some time.
Good on you, thanks.
Kelly, just amazing access down here, getting to chat to the girls during the quarters, and I can tell you an update on the crowd there. I believe it is over 6,500 people, and that means it takes us past the 50,000 mark for round 1 of the AFLW. Amazing stuff.
That's huge news, Narrowly. We have cracked the 50,000 mark, so more than 50,000 supporters. This is clearly high. Duray on Frederick Traub, and she's a little slow to get up. Has she got 50 in her wet boot? That's the question.
It'll take her best. I think the probably option here would be about north of 30 in the centre of the ground.
I'd really like to see her just milk the clock here and just wait for that lead. You've got Taylor Harris, you've got really big marking power in there, so if Taylor can time a run out of here, I think she's going to have a set shot for goal.
Well, she kicked the last goal of the contest, and that slews off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the fall. Hard with a heavy, wet ball. The 20-year-old, born in the UK, lived in Brighton in England, moved to Perth when she was 7, started playing AFL 9 years ago so she could fit in at school, and here she is, making her debut in the AFL women's competition and juggling a mark, and she'll have another go at it.
Well, let's hope she just goes north to 30 now, because she should learn from this. That's a better kick.
So a high up and under. She asks her forwards to fly, and they do just that. At the back, can anyone get boot to ball? It's Grierson. Good composure under pressure. A clearing kick and just gets them out of trouble.
Really great effort from the Melbourne midfield group to get back and help their defenders in that case. I think they outnumbered by about 3 or 4, and it ended ended up with Jazzy getting the ball and being able to reset by kicking it over the boundary line.
That's footy smarts, isn't it? Just knowing she won't make the distance, bring it to ground, but make sure you got someone there to cover.
Definitely footy smarts, and also just that gut running that we were talking about before, just willing themselves to get back and help their defensive unit out.
She's been impressive, Jazzy Grierson, the only goal kicker for the D's on a tough afternoon at the office. Here goes Frederick Traub again. She splits the pack. At the back of it, the hurried kick. Harris is at the goal square. Does Harris win the free? She gives it away, playing behind.
Yeah, that's a really good play from the Melbourne defender there. I'm not quite sure it is, but she played in front. Yeah, really good play. Katie wasn't electing to play in front against...
Yeah, little player in Smith as well, so she was outsized by Harris. Keeping it in as Hunt. This is dangerous again here for the Lions. Juggling the mark. Harris not paid. Ball hits the deck. They pile on top. Trying to clear it is Shelley Scott, the dairy farmer from Colac, on all fours. Duray goes, looking to go again.
It was a really good leap from Taylor Harris, was it? Just the conditions. It was a really good use of the body. She jumped early, and it was just a slippery ball in the end.
Showing some of that X factor, and that's why she's a marquee player for the Brisbane Lions.
And just seems to be limping a little bit. Is she coming off an ankle or something? Or
she had a shoulder injury coming into the game.
Just on those marquee players as well, you know, it is really tough to take marks in these conditions, but we saw Sabs, you know, contesting so well and just bringing that ball to ground and giving her small forwards an opportunity to run on and you know, to kick a goal.
She started to look really dangerous in this quarter, which is great for the Lions. They need that. So going into the last quarter, they got some momentum.
So three-quarter time here at Casey Fields. This is a genuine slugfest, and the points are up for grabs. It's going to be a tough last quarter.